So we're talking about Reserve today, which is my personal favorite map. And as you can see, I'm in my Reserve loadout. I got my Red Rebel and my rig that allows me to steal all of your loot, because this is what most of Reserve is. Okay, I tease. But yeah, so pulling up the map here. Give me a second. So I'm going to talk about what I see and what I've learned and what I wish I knew about Reserve before I started playing. Okay, so this is our map. And this is what I'd like to call... Oh, I don't have a pen. No. No momento. This is what I'd like to call Dome. Everyone knows what Dome is. It's like dorms in customs. Always expect someone to be at Dome. It's a popular sniping spot. A lot of people sit up there and snipe. There's also a rock right here that's underneath this key spawn. A lot of people sit on that because you can see even more of the map and it's not quite as obvious as Dome. And if you think that's a secret, I'm sorry. I'm exposing all of you people who snipe from there because I snipe from there. From Dome, you could see almost all the map. There's little parts of the K building you can't see, but you can definitely hit snipes in front of armored train, on top of any of the pawn buildings, and basically in front of all of knights. So another thing about like Reserve, which is nice and also not nice, is it's all based off chess pieces. So maybe play a game of chess before you play Reserve. But yeah. One thing from sniping from Dome is this range right here, about 150 meters. This is about 200 meters. This is about 320 meters. And then if you can see this tower, this is 400 meters, roughly, a little bit more. And this is about your 350 zone. So I'll write it out for you so you can see. Because I've hit snipes. I have not hit a snipe at this range at 400, but I've hit one at 351. I've hit multiple at 320, and I've hit so many snipes at White Knight that are around 170 to 150 that it's insane. So just some dialing in info, so if you happen to be sniping from Dome, you can know that that's about the ranges. Now talking about some of the zones in the map, is this is a kind of a dead lull zone. There's not a lot of loot here. There's a 50 cal you can shoot. There's some good scav spawns, but other than that, not very good loot. There's basically nothing here. So I would not recommend going here. There's a duffel bag and a key or coat spawn here. And in this bunker right here, you can get a relay, like the really big 2x2 relays that sell for like 300, 400k. But other than that, there's like nothing to go here. Now, there's this little tower here by Scavlands, and then there's this little cubby area. I don't find very much loot here. Some ammo spawns, but other than that, you can stay away from. Then we have our K buildings, which actually has some decent loot and raider spawns here. So it's not a bad place to be. White Knight and ST. If you have this key, this is a very good key to open. It also can have raiders spawn in Black Knight, so this area can have raiders. Black Knight is your first building that has some really good loot in it. So I would recommend hitting Black Knight. It's got a lot of good keys in it as well, or coats in it for keys as well. Now I'm always confused on if this is Queen or King. I'm told this is King, but everyone calls it Queen. I'm not sure. Whatever you call it, this is probably quote unquote your best loot in the game. Like, there is military circuit boards, graphics cards, Tetris spawns, military cables, military circuit boards, the military radio transponders, the military gyroscopes, basically anything military can spawn here. Lots of very good tech loot, and I believe an intelligence spawn. Now, going on to White Bishop, this is your medical building. It is pretty good. So you need meds, that's a good building. Black Bishop, raiders can spawn here. This is personally my favorite spot to fight raiders because, yeah, you can snipe them from White Pawn and they don't aggro on you, or if you have a big enough mag, they all push you when you're in one room and you kill all of them at once. Whatever you want to do there. It also has the graphics card room or drop down room where if you go up to 3rd floor you can drop down without having to need the key, and there's decent tech spawns in there. That's where a lot of people get their graphics cards. Now there are marked rooms in Black Pawn and White Pawn, a lot with some other key rooms that have your typical like weapons and ammo spawns. I personally don't like hitting the pawn buildings because they get rushed a lot because of the marked rooms. Going over to back to this side of the map, bunker, if you're going underneath, there can be raiders and good scav spawns, and these keys aren't actually too bad if you have them. Granted, they run a little bit expensive, but if you need Dr. Lupo beans, go here. Beans, magical fruit. I don't think they're fruit, whatever. They can spawn in here too, so like if you're desperate and need those, I think that's a decent spot to go. Now in front of here, we got a lot of scav spawns, and raiders hang out here whenever armored train comes. Decent loot in here. I rarely loot this building. I try to stay away from this early because marked room rushers and chads galore. So that's a little bit about the map. With the new expansion, there's this new place called the Ratacombs, which actually connects all of these buildings underground. It is nice that they're finally underground, and there's a new extract. However, it is the Ratacombs. You will find rats galore down there. I don't have a problem with that, but keep that in mind. Decent loot down there too, and additional raider spawns. So if you need to kill raiders, Reserve is now a very good place to do it when you are on that quest and don't want to go labs. Lastly, armored train. When it comes here, raiders can spawn. The train itself does not actually have a very good loot. It has 2 lootable crates if you get lucky, and it's worth it, sure, but the main premise of it is an extract along with bunker and Red Rebel being your 3 most consistent extracts. Now that the Ratacombs are here, there is a power extract that's kind of underneath Dome, and you have to turn on the power, which is like directly under Queen King, and then make your way up towards the Dome area and you can get to a new extract. So there are 4 now reliable extracts where you do not need Red Rebel. There's now 3, so keep that in mind. I think most people take the Red Rebel or the armored train. Now I could be wrong, but that's my experience. Red Rebel is probably your most popular extract. Now if you're playing Reserve, you run into 2 types of people, very few in between. 1, primarily, as you saw what I looked like at the beginning of the video, your hatchet runners, super low geared guys. They probably have a Red Rebel, they probably have 60 million already, it doesn't matter. They're hatchet running, pistol running, low gear running, have Red Rebel extract, or they take sewer manhole because they don't have backpack, and they're just hitting these quick high value spawns, the tech spawns, and then they're going to extract. Yeah, it's just that. It's hatchlings, and you kill them fast. And there was a joke, and I still believe it. Reserve is the 5-minute raid, as in all the action's done in the first 5 minutes, because people do 3 things. They rush here because they have the spawn, because they want the graphics card. They rush here to try to get snipes. They rush to marked room because marked room. They rush to this marked room because marked room, or they rush like K's because Gulhar spawn. So that's like what it is. You can spawn here and people just rush toward Queen. Like, it's a 5-minute map, and rarely do I run into anyone past 5 minutes, and if I run into someone past like 5 to 10 minutes, they're doing exactly what I'm doing, and that's looking for raiders when they spawn with armored terrain. So yeah. Now the other person is the super mega chad, because you know a lot of people were going to reserve now because they added a new bit to it, and even before that bit was added, you had a lot of like super thick boys. This is not as in customs, as in like they're trying to PvP, but they just like being thick and they want to do everything as possible and like kill everything and get all the loot, because reserve is the best looting map in the game. Your only competition would be interchange. However, reserve has the bonus of free graphics card spawns, free intel spawns, and raiders, which have better loot than any scavs. So I would say it is the best looting map in the game. Speaking of raiders, Glukar, Glukos, Gluhar, Gluku, whatever you want to call him, and his armored minions, Sugar Daddy, I don't know, can spawn with blue keycard, he can spawn everywhere. He's also the hardest scab boss to take down. He can spawn here, he can spawn here, and he can spawn here. K buildings, Black Knight, Black Bishop, and he can be underground, I'm told. I've never seen it. Now, in popularity, I see him mostly at K buildings, then I see him in Black Bishop, Black Knight, and then I'll just give this a 4 for now. Clearing off my map, K buildings, I'll start talking about you. He usually hangs out in between 3 and 4, usually where I see him, and sometimes he rotates to be out here. If he rotates to be out here, get distance and good luck. Gluko actually spawns literally right here. How do I know this? Because I spawned here one time, took 2 steps forward, and died to him by an M67 grenade 7 seconds into the raid. So, if you spawn here, be careful, because raiders can spawn here and instantly push you. So, keep that in mind. If you're trying to kill Glucose, if you know he's here, which generally you know he's here because he makes a loud noise, and a lot of it. He's got the loudest gun in the game, an Ash 12, and they throw nades because there are 7 of them, counting his 6 guards. Who, if you're doing the quest, do not count as raiders, by the way, but they nonetheless hurt, loud, and aimbot the absolutely living bejesus out of you. So keep that in mind. My suggestion is wait here, or come in anyway, come in here, and wait for him to be between 3 and 4, and then if he's in 4, wait in a car until they push and hope you have a high magazine gun such as an M4 and AK, and just keep killing them and just keep shooting. If you use a surf kit or a CMS, they're like hot queued to instantly push you, so keep that in mind, and try not to tackle him solo because he is probably the hardest scav boss to kill. Black Knight. My guess, or my suggestion, because I've never killed him here, is wait here in between the White Knight and this bunker building and just try to take pop shots as his guards as he sticks back. Don't have a very good way of saying it, but if he's in Black Knight, there's this little garage area he can be in, or he's in the inner garage area, and it's very hard to get shots on him because it's dark and he has aimbot and he just shoots the living crap out of you. My personal place to fight him is Black Bishop, because you can get on the roof of White Pawn and snipe him, or in White Pawn and snipe into the windows. I used an M700 for this. You can use whatever you want. And I actually sniped 5 of his guards and him on my second raid this wipe, before the 7th one, who is in Black Pawn, killed me as I was pushing across. That's my suggestion. However, if you are in any of this area that is not White Pawn, you can draw aggro and they will push out and try to kill you. Even though he spawns here and is on the first floor, they can rotate to any of these buildings. So keep that in mind when you're trying to kill Glucose. When he spawns in Black Pond, he spawns in this stairway, and you can actually kill him with one of these grenade launchers that spawns right here. And you know what? It's not a bad idea. You spawn here, wait 10 seconds, get on the grenade launcher, and shoot the living bejesus out of the stairwell, and you have a good chance of not only killing Glukar, but also some of his raiders. You can actually snipe him from Dome, but yeah, that's not about Glukar. Now, Reserve is my favorite map in the game because there are a variety of ways you can play it. You can rat it up, you can snipe it out, you can be a Chad. There's a lot of variety to do with Reserve. Also, it has a long combination, or a great combination of short sightlines and long sightlines, depending on how you choose to play the map. And it has very good loot with raiders. One of the last things to note is basically, along with Dome, just assume people are in these towers. I now check every single tower as I rotate because I didn't think people sat in them, and then people sit in them all day long and just wait all day to snipe you. I've died while being in this tower with 2 minutes left in the raid to a guy who sat in this tower. He would rather kill me than get out with any loot, because I was just waiting for armored train, and then I realized I missed it. I wasn't going to get any extract, so I literally started throwing stuff off of the tower just to insurance fraud it, because you know I'm one of those people. And then I got sniped by a PMC from this tower with 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the raid. I don't know what he was doing. There was no way he was getting to me and then sniping, but yeah, keep that in mind. People like sitting in those towers. Now, I think that's just some of the things that I learned about Reserve. Actually, the last thing. This is the last point I have, and then this is everything I really wish I knew about Reserve. There's this little cubby hole area with decent loot down there. But don't go under there. You're trapped. It's a one-way ticket to, like, the loading screen. Just keep that in mind. The lion that spawns under there, or the badge, if you really need it, I suppose you can go under there. There's a dead scab with a duffel bag and a treasure spawn, but don't go under there. You're just going to die. It's a one-way ticket. All they have to do is wait for you to come out. You can't even shoot when you're crawling out, or they throw a grenade under there and you're kablooey. But yeah, those are just some of the things I wish I knew about Reserve. Reserve is one of my favorite maps. I suggest that you wait a little bit before playing it though, because it can be one of the more difficult ones due to the high level of gears. But yeah, this is my Reserve and things I wish I knew. I only have one more map in this series, and that'll be labs, and I don't have a lot of experience with labs, so maybe I'll have to go play some labs. But yeah, hope you enjoy the videos, and remember, have a great day.